Okay, so I'm Naeem and I'm here with my amazing client,
Nikki?
and today we want to talk about your journey. We want to go through the evaluation of, where we started together, where you are now, and where you'd like to go going forwards. So the first question I want to ask you really is, why did you start working with myself? You haven't heard this question before, have you?
That's a good question. How long have you got? I wanted to start working with you because I needed to get back into fitness. When I was diagnosed with MS, I had extreme anxiety and it made me lose drastic weight in a short space of time. And so I lost all my muscle mass as well.
Yeah.
And I just needed your help to sort of try and get me back on track.
And as we've said off of this before, about the right time of when to start, and I feel like for a lot of individuals as well, people leave it to the point where they feel like they are forced to act, whereas I feel like even with your situation here, it is you were called to action almost, but at the same time there was still room and there was still this availability in which you were like, I could hold off on that.
Yeah.
And I think people have to determine that urgency a lot of the time. With you, obviously, it was very direct, and it was, well, if I don't get a hold of this is going to get worse and worse and worse at a quicker rate. Whereas I feel like for an everyday individual, they don't necessarily see the impact of ignoring their health and fitness until 20 years' time, where they're going, I've got to do something now. I'm a step away from being diabetic. This is going on with my heart. This is going on with my breathing. I need to address this. So I think it was really, really nice that kind of Lou, a friend of yours, brought us together, and we've had a very, very good time.
It's been quite entertaining.
Exactly. Which tails nicely onto the next question, which was, what do you feel has been your biggest win within your journey so far with myself?
I suppose there's a few things. One main reason is because I feel so comfortable being with you and you helping me.
Yeah.
I feel that we get on really well, and I think that's really important.
Of course.
Also, I think what was helping, what I made. Sorry, I'm stuttering and I'm
there's
blah, blah, blah.
There's no perfect take. You don't worry about that.
What was the question again, please?
What was
Brain fog.
What was your biggest win?
That's
or what has
it,
been the biggest win on your journey?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, one good thing as well is that I was been able to put more pressure on my left leg.
Yes. Yes. Hobbling
That's
along,
bonus,
wasn't it?
right?
And I was
Yeah,
like, that needs to get sorted straight
yeah.
away. And, just opening up a little bit more about that was, it's that sciatic feeling, isn't it?
Yes.
And I've said to you already, we're trying to increase your threshold or your belief in yourself. I think a massive win from my side of things, watching you grow, has been the physical confidence that's growing within yourself. There's things that when I got you to come to the gym the first time, leg press we'll always talk about. We'll always tell you a lot about that. Got on that leg press. You went to go, I was like, Nick, go for your first rep. Legs went nowhere. She was like, that's not happening. And I was like, wow, my whole plan has to change, and my whole approach changed from there. And I was like, okay, so what do we need to address with you first? So I think very much from a physical aspect, I've watched you just grow and see your belief, because the capability was always there in my eyes. It was whether you believed it was there or not. Yeah. And now I feel like those things are very much starting to line up together. It's starting to look amazing from that aspect. So I'm really, really pleased with that. Yeah. It's wicked, it's good.
I always felt that MS is not going to beat me. It's not going to define me. And I needed somebody's help to help me get through that.
Yes.
And by meeting you, you've helped wonders, honestly.
Thank you so much. No, honestly, thank you so much.
But it's true.
No, yeah, and it has been. It's been nice to see, even from a mental aspect of things, when you come in sometimes and you don't have the best, day beforehand or the week, and I'm like, it's not a great week, is it, Nick? You come in and go, no, it's not. Of course, but then we sit down and we discuss things and we start to rationalise, okay, so how can we improve and look at this better? And like I said to you that time that you came in recently, I don't remember the last time we had to have a conversation like that in such a while. So even from a mental aspect of things, I really feel as if, from the physical and mental, we're taking those steps forwards. And it's only a certain amount of time now before I feel as if you're ready for that big change.
Yeah.
And that's the next step,
Yeah,
which is really, really good.
Because I do feel that it's not only helping me physically, it is helping me mentally too.
Yes.
And that's an important
100%.
part.
It's the whole basis of, what I do is, my whole thing is 9 Chameleon, mind, fitness and health. Mind first before everything else. Once that's ready, everything else will fall through. So we've talked about your wins, and I want to briefly talk about some of the obstacles. What was your biggest obstacle that you've faced so far in your journey? So what's the thing where it's like...
One of the obstacles was actually trying to get in contact with you, because my confidence was like at an all-time low.
Okay, I thought you meant I was elusive.
Oh,
I was
no,
like...
No.
You shouldn't be saying that.
Before I got in contact with you, I was thinking, do I do it, do I don't it? I was really sort of like, oh... But I did, and I'm so glad I did.
Thank you so much. And I'm also equally, you gave me an opportunity to kind of grow my knowledge base. I said to you, I've never worked with anyone with MS before, and my understanding of it wasn't as in-depth as it is now. And that's for me to go away and go, how do I help this lady solve her problems? I think, from my aspect of things, I am a problem solver. And you come to me for a result, which is often from me solving certain problems for you. And it's definitely been, it's something where, without you getting in touch, I appreciate how big of a step that is for a lot of people, because it isn't just you like that. If you speak to quite a few of my clients, they've probably had my contact details for months before they've actually reached out to me. But once you get over that hurdle, I try to ensure my, promise to you is that you don't regret getting in contact. I try to make it very worthwhile.
So this is what I've been doing over the past year or so with the diagnosis. I have been trying to overcome the fear to do things.
Yes.
And I do them. I've
It's good.
Face on,
It is because a lot of our progress and development comes from doing things like that. It's those things of getting outside of your comfort zone, and you find the more you do it, you go, oh, that didn't actually hurt that much. So then it allows you to take on something else that scared you just a tiny bit more. And I definitely do agree. There was that point where it clicked for me, especially within the gym, where we went around to certain different machines, and then you were just like, oh yeah, I'll do that. You're like, can I not get a little bit more of this one? And I was like, whoa, hang on a minute. And it becomes almost like, it's infectious as well. It is, and it's this ever-turning cycle. And I think it's the same with things like belief and motivation. If you believe you're going to do something to 100% of your ability, or you believe that you've got this in the bag, chances are you put in that effort to get that done, and you get the result that you expect. If you come in, you're like, I'm probably going to, I might do it, I might not.
I was surprised myself how far I've come since March.
Yeah.
With the things that I'm able to do now with certain machines.
It is.
I mean, they're still, they're still sort of not that great compared to other people, but for me, they're big goals.
Yeah, and as I've said to you before, that's very relevant to your situation and circumstance. A lot of people that you compare yourself to are not in the same.
No.
They're not in the same boat at all. So for you, these are very big jumps. And like I've said, it's in regards to where you're going. It's just a foundation for the next step. Yeah. Your journey is a lot longer, or seems like the starting point is a lot further back than other people's, but you're slowly creeping up and catching up.
Yeah.
Well, some people are here, they're taking that start point for granted. You'll eventually surpass that. And that's the thing, because they're like, I'm comfortable here, I'm fine here. But consistently, every single day, you're going, I want to do things that scare me.
Yeah.
I want to do things that better me.
Yeah.
There will be a point, an eclipse, and then you're gone. Okay, so we briefly talked about the second point within that, but I just want to briefly ask this question as well, is with some of the obstacles that you've came across, how did you overcome them? So I know obviously you had that whole thing of going, the contact thing, I don't know whether I'll get in touch. Like, what in your head clicked and you thought, yes, okay, I'm going to get that done?
Just something inside of me thinking, if I don't do it now, I'm never going to do it. I'm not helping myself being like this.
Yeah.
So I forced myself. I absolutely just literally forced myself to do it.
Was it
Yes,
that?
it was.
Just like...
It was literally like that. Yeah.
So in regards to your fitness, how do you feel about it now in comparison to when you, before you started working with myself? So what do you feel is the difference for you in regards to your perception of fitness from when you first started working with me to where you are now?
Well, I didn't think that I would be able to get to the point where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
Never thought that was going to happen with all the symptoms that I have. But I've surprised myself with the things that I am able to do now, and hopefully I'll progress even further and further.
Of course you will. There's no hope. There's no hoping for something that's going to happen.
It will happen. Yes, absolutely. Yes? Yeah.
And it's that total belief. You know, I said to you about, look, this is what needs to be worked on, and I think bit by bit, just seeing you take more of an independence with the right support and guidance there, you've really, where's that home workout that you said you were going to send me? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Oh, my cameraman's not in. But even little things like that for me made me smile, because it was like, wow, we've come to a point where this lady wasn't believing what she could do with her body, now insisting like, you need to send this stuff over because I want to do more and I actually want to progress quicker away from you as well. Yes. And that was huge. I think for us currently, it's been a huge thing for me to see you not mentally develop, because you're not a child, but seeing you develop in a way mentally which it's almost like this. There's a sense of fearlessness, but there's also a sense of understanding and appreciation of stuff. Like when we've talked briefly about the MS and I've gone to you, I know you're feeling a sensation here. Yeah. Is that a pain or is that not? And even those small little points of distinguishing like what's a feeling and what is actually pain, I feel that in itself has helped you overcome a lot of other things as well.
Oh, it definitely has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
if I know that it's not something, it's not pain, I can get through it. I can do more.
Of course.
So.
No, of course. It's literally taking that limiter off. It's taking that restrictor off and going, it's a sensation. And as soon as you start to rationalise that and go, my arm isn't falling off, my legs are still attached.
That's it. Yeah.
It's smooth sailing from there, and I've enjoyed watching you push yourself and consistently.
Although when I do like the leg work, and it does sometimes exacerbate the burning sensation, the tingling sensations in my legs. It's a sensation. Yeah. It's not pain. I can get through it.
Yes.
And so that's why I sort of like push myself as much as I can.
You've been hanging around with me too much, haven't you?
I know.
Well, everyone, I'd just like to thank you so much.
Soon,
I'll be leaving very soon. Yes, but I'd just like to thank everyone for listening to that, and I'd really like to thank you for sharing that story as well. You did incredible. Finish.